I'm gonna get kind of deep right now, but like for the people who aren't black or whatever, it's like why are you saying Black Lives Matter? Is it because you really believe in it, or is it because the marketing that's been grand these last 3 months has been just incredible, hasn't it? To a point where now you're like, well, yeah, Black Lives Matter.
How can you not be behind Black Lives
How
Matter?
can you not? Like, it makes perfect sense. My question to you would obviously be, what the hell took so long?
Yeah, because then you think back when the marketing wasn't like this for Black Lives Matter, back when it was just Colin Kaepernick kneeling.
Right. No one gave a shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, people were like, there were sides of like, oh yeah, no, he should definitely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And then there was a whole other side of like, fuck that, all that crap. But now the side of fuck that is very small. So minute.
Compared to... You can't even find it, but... Yeah,
it's because they figured out the marketing.
It's like we literally see the whole NBA, right now the season just restarted, but they're in the bubble. You see the whole court with Black Lives Matter in the middle. All the players wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts and everything like that. I'm saying nothing's wrong with this, because obviously I agree with this, right? But what I'm saying is the marketing behind it now. The marketing is making everyone else be like, yes, this is what we want to see and everything like that. However, I don't think non-people of color have realized that a part of it probably is the marketing. I don't think consciously they're just like, oh no, yeah, it's right, because if you think about it, if you don't say it's the marketing, that means that you just didn't care. I mean, it means that you just never cared. You never cared about how people of color were being treated in society, by the police, systemic racism. You didn't give a shit about any of that.
He's saying if they say it's not marketing,
right? Because you're copying to it's one or the other. Because if you say like, oh my god, now I didn't know it was like this. Well, yeah, that's because of the marketing.
Right.
You're being shown this, aren't you? So you're being marketed.
It could be presented as educational,
right?
But it's still marketing.
It's still marketing. Like at any point, even if it's good, I'm not saying that like
Yeah, we're not saying
it's like
bad.
Sells products.
Yeah,
no, of course, like marketing is for whatever like point you're trying to get across. The same way where people go out and they picket and protest about either police brutality or LGBTQ rights and everything like that. That's still all marketing, because you may not agree with what they're saying. However, now because you see them, you now know their issue. That was the whole point of protesting and things like that, because maybe you don't agree now, but you'll at least know why we're out here, right? So, if you're a non-person of color and you're just like, well, I didn't know, or I just didn't know, like, it was like this, like I said, it was because, well, now you're being shown it at an extreme level, which makes you aware that is marketing. If you say, oh, no, I always knew this, cool, so you just didn't care. It's one or the other at that point.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm saying when it comes to, like, it's just crazy how literally a few videos, a little bit of hype, we can just throw away a whole person's career and be like, they ain't shit.
And the craziness that he accomplished.
Yeah, like, they're not shit. And I'm like, this is... is no one seeing this right now? Because this is what we do to people.
Because I didn't see no old school Roy videos popping up. It was just all Mike Tyson. Which, no, again, like, I love them both. Right. They're fucking great.
They're both awesome.
Insanely great. But Roy Jones does deserve credit. He
deserves the same amount of cachet as Mike Tyson.
I guess maybe he doesn't care about the hype social media aspect of it, so he's like, whatever.
To me, it's like, it's not his job. That's the thing, because people are just walking with this whole aspect of like, oh, Mike, have you seen Mike? Like, Mike, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like...
They've done it well. They've done it well, because they've done like little clips here and there, just sparingly, like that one video with him and... who's that UFC fighter? The fucking Jim. What's his name? The long one. He has long arms. He's undefeated heavyweight. Lightweight heavyweight or something like that.
Is he black, white?
Yeah, he got caught for like a shitload of drugs.
Oh, John Jones.
John Jones. Okay. I was about to say Jim Jones. That's a totally different guy. John Jones.
Same thing. Don't drink that Kool-Aid.
Marketing Kool-Aid. So yeah, what I was trying to say. They had Mike Tyson. Talking with John Jones, and they did like a little like just like sparring session kind of thing, but it was just like them at a patio, and they were like throwing shots at each other, and Mike Tyson did this like really quick like 1-2 thing,
right?
And even John Jones at the time, he was like, oh shit, that was quick as fuck. He was like, oh, like you see, like he wasn't even ready to take the punch.
Right.
And this is a trained fighter, so even if you're playing around, your reflexes just go straight up, like block.
Right.
But he didn't even block. He was just like, oh crap, I would have got hit by that. So it's just shit like that. Mike Tyson's hype team is really fucking good.
Like, Mike Tyson, God bless him. Yeah. Like, he's an awesome guy and everything like that. But I feel like he's the perfect metaphor for society now. It's all marketing and how you want to get your point across and how you choose to get your point across. Because, like I said, people have just chosen to just, like, shit on Roy Jones and act like Roy Jones never did anything.
Right.
Like, I saw Roy Jones knock someone out with his hands down about 5 feet away from them with a jumping left hook. Which, if you just try to do that in fighting, period, on a street fight, that's amazing. Try to do that when you're fighting someone who's trained just as much as you. I saw Roy Jones do that. He land a lead left hook to the body and knock somebody out.
That's insane.
That's, like, impossible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
but
the power marketing is crazy because it could take someone, like, if we had the marketing team like Mike Tyson had for this show, we could possibly be bigger than Joe Rogan and still have the same setup. Nothing's changed. Like, we're still in this studio with this blank background, this whatever. And because the marketing is so fucking good, we could be perceived as being better than the Joe Rogan podcast.
Right,
Joe
but
Budden
then
podcast.
even when it comes to the marketing, like, because the marketing would be so good, people would then defend certain things because, like you guys don't know where we record this, right? Yeah. However, though, like, you have people be like, oh, they keep it real minimalistic because that's the style of the podcast.
Yeah, we get
straight to like, it's like, what? Like,
because they're just being real and raw.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like, but that's the power of marketing.
Yeah.
Like,
and you get people that really don't know much will start defending you to the fucking ends of the world, man.
And it's just because they don't realize that they've been brainwashed to believe that this person is completely this dude, right?